Picture this. You own a 100% foreign-owned business in Namibia, absolutely zero local residency required, no local partner needed, and absolutely no local director mandates. Sounds almost too good to be true, right? But it's literally the reality of doing business in Namibia today. And if you're looking to take advantage of this incredible opportunity, LH Corporate Services can actually help you register that company today entirely remotely.
That number right there, 100%, is what makes Namibia so incredibly attractive for investors all over the world. Plus, there's no minimum capital requirement for most sectors. I mean, the barrier to entry is phenomenally low. But to actually unlock this, you need to know exactly how to navigate BIPA. That's the Business and Intellectual Property Authority. They are the ultimate gatekeepers to officially launching your venture in the country.
Okay, let's dive into this chronological blueprint we're going to follow to get your business fully registered and tender ready. 1. Why register in Namibia? 2. Choosing your business structure. 3. The BIPA registration process. 4. Becoming tender ready. And 5. Timelines, costs, and support.
Section 1. Why register in Namibia? The gateway to growth.
You have to understand that official registration isn't just bureaucratic paperwork. It is your literal gateway to growth. Without it, you are completely locked out of the formal economy. Registering officially unlocks your ability to open up corporate bank accounts and apply for financing. It creates this vital legal shield that limits your personal liability, meaning your personal assets are protected from business risks. But most importantly, it's the mandatory absolute first step to ensure tax compliance. That compliance is exactly what allows you to participate in highly lucrative government and private sector tenders. Basically, without BIPA registration, you simply cannot compete.
Moving right along to Section 2. Choosing your business structure.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast between these two paths. Your decision here heavily depends on the sheer scale of your business. On the left, the close corporation, or CC. This is the absolute favorite for startups and smaller businesses. It's designed for 1 to 10 members, features significantly lower annual compliance costs, and get this, there is no mandatory audit requirement. You do, however, need to appoint an accounting officer. Now, on the right, look at the private company, or Pty Ltd. If you are building a highly scalable venture, maybe bringing on up to 50 shareholders, looking to issue shares, or aggressively seeking outside investment, this is the powerhouse structure you absolutely need.
All right, Section 3, the BIPA registration process. Let's look at the step-by-step guide.
So, this is the precise timeline you're going to follow. It builds sequentially like a puzzle. First, exactly as we just discussed, you lock in your structure. Second, you conduct a formal name search. Third, you prepare your documentation packet, which now importantly includes the new beneficial ownership forms. And fourth, you submit the whole shebang to BIPA for processing. Let's zoom in and look a bit closer at that name search and document prep.
So your business journey officially kicks off with a unique name. You can't just pick one. You actually need to submit at least 3 different options to BIPA for approval. A pro tip here, you can check initial availability at bipa.namibia/search. Once you've got your options lined up, you'll use Form CC8 if you chose a closed corporation or Form CM5 for a Pty Ltd. Now keep in mind, BIPA does charge a statutory fee for this reservation step, which is approximately $75.
Okay, so once your name is reserved and locked in, you have to compile the core document packet. You're going to need certified copies of IDs for Namibian members. Or, and this is a huge win for foreign founders doing this entirely remotely, you can just use notarized passport copies. You'll also need proof of a physical registered address right there in Namibia. Then you toss in Form CM1 for a PLTY Limited or Form CC1 for a CC, along with a formal consent letter from your accounting officer if you went to CC route, and finally, you absolutely must include the beneficial ownership declaration.
Let's pause on that for a second because that beneficial ownership, or BO declaration, is absolutely critical. As of 2026, BIPA is strictly enforcing transparency mandates. So what does this actually mean for you? It means you must declare any individual person who ultimately owns, controls, or exerts significant influence over more than 20% of the business. It is a strict, mandatory filing. Your application will literally not move a single inch forward without it.
Section 4. Becoming tender ready. The vital post-registration steps.
Here's a reality check. You cannot legally trade, you cannot hire employees, and you certainly cannot apply for corporate contracts armed with just a BIPA certificate. The certificate alone isn't enough.
you actually need to achieve a very specific status known as being tender ready. This is the legal trifecta that actually empowers your business to make money and successfully compete in the Namibian market. It involves tax, social security, and an SME certification.
The absolute first step of becoming tender ready is securing your tax registration certificate from the Namibia Revenue Agency, commonly known as NAMRA. And there is a vital, non-negotiable threshold to be aware of here. If your annual turnover is projected to exceed $1 million, the business must also concurrently register for value-added tax, or VAT.
So the crucial point to take away from this is this three-step post-registration checklist. Number 1, NMRA, for your tax and VAT. Number 2, the Social Security Commission, or SSC. Listen, if you plan to hire even a single staff member, you are legally required to register your employees right here. And number 3, the SME certificate from the Ministry of Industrialization and Trade. This specific piece of paper is a real game changer because it's what actually unlocks specialized government incentives and hands you preferential advantages for tender opportunities.
Finally, Section 5, Timelines, Costs, and Support. Let's talk about the practical realities.
Let's be real about the timeline. If you try to navigate this massive bureaucratic process alone, the source material notes it can easily drag on for up to 2 months. Nobody wants to wait that long. However, when handled by professionals who are making daily submissions directly to BIPA, you can actually secure your fully approved registration certificate within just 7 to 14 working days. That effectively breaks down to about 3 days to get your name reservation approved, and then the remaining time is dedicated to the processing of your founding statement or articles of association.
Now, let's talk numbers. LEdge Corporate Services offers completely transparent upfront pricing. No hidden fees, no surprises for this exact fast-track timeline. A full closed corporation registration package starts at just $2,250. That includes your name reservation, the CC1 certificate, and hands-on assistance with your tax, SSE, and SME registrations. Now, a private company, or Pty Ltd registration, which, as we discussed, is much more complex, is $9,450. That covers full incorporation, share certificates, and your bank account documentation. And hey, if you are already registered but just need to get tender compliant, that specific package is $1,850 to secure your good standing certificates and run a full compliance audit.
The opportunity to build, scale, and thrive in a market that allows full foreign ownership with such remarkably low barriers to entry is incredibly rare. So I have to ask, are you ready to launch your Namibian business today? If you want to bypass the mountain of paperwork, completely avoid those 2-month DIY delays, and have seasoned experts execute this exact blueprint for you, you can reach out to the team directly at